This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
Here's one thing we do know about Jamal. Historically, playoff start, his numbers take a giant skyrocket forward. The only exception has been last year. Last year's the only time his numbers did not make a significant jump once the postseason hit. So are you confident that Jamal is going to be that in 2.5 weeks? Because that's when the postseason starts.
What I don't want to do is have this become chronic things with Jamal Murray. He's only 28 years old. I mean, again, there's a lot of wear and tear on these young bodies when they come into the league at a young age, and it feels like he's been around forever. But in terms of human years, he's only 28. Mm-hmm. But is his body, is this the Jamal we're going to get from now on where he's broken down for a third of the season in and out, Vic? I don't know, and I hope that's not the case, and I'm not even going to blame him because he knows his body. He's been through some tremendous injuries in his NBA career, but on the bigger picture and as a Nuggets person, and the franchise is always bigger than everything else, is this going to remain a problem?
Well, when you get to this juncture of the season, this late, right, 5 games to go, we don't even know what
everybody's
the injuries
hurting
are.
In one way or another.
Yeah, we don't even know what they are anymore. Yeah. Like, take Jokic, for example. You just heard here. He told DeAndre Jordan, I can't play tomorrow on my back. Well, add that to his ankle impingement. Add that to his shoulder, which has been
broken.
sore. Add that to his
spinal.
He's got a little bit of everything. He's got a shoulder, a back, an ankle. He's got injuries galore. So it's one thing.
What about his
another.
arms? What about the bloodletting? What about the leeches
his elbow?
on his arms?
Let's not forget the elbows. Remember the elbows
the
that were both
got the
hyperextended.
sleeve.
And with Jamal, is it the ankle? Is it the hamstring? Is it the knee? I mean, there are a lot of things. So we're at that point now, man. This is it. These guys are playing through injuries. But I really appreciate hearing that from Nikola because even those of us who put him up there in the echelon of the greats of all time, even those of us still take him for granted at times. We think he can just wake up and he's perfectly fine. It's not the way it works.
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
Feels like the Rockies have been the team move brand of Major League Baseball lately. And unfortunately, like what's happening is they can't find a way to produce offense right now.
Right.
Are we not using torpedo bats in Denver?
Dude, we
What's
need
happening?
torpedo bats. So this is my theory about the torpedo bat. So in the late 60s when Bob Gibson was just mowing people down and had like a 1.12 ERA.
They're like, we got to lower the mound.
This is not fun. We got to lower the mound. That's what we have to do. It was like Wilt Chamberlain in the free throw line. You got to do something. So now I feel like every pitcher who comes in the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning can throw 3 digits, right? Everybody can throw 100 miles an hour, and it's hard for hitters to hit. So these torpedo bats come along.
We wanted to do a stat check on like Tony Gwynn and George Brett in those like 390 years. How many hits did they get off the starting pitcher after the 6th
or after the
7th
7th
inning?
So
I want to know.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
Third time seeing a guy, he's thrown 112 pitches. Like, how many hits did they get? Because guys today, the reason why the averages are going down, the shift, and they're facing really tough pitchers like 4 or 5 in a game. So this is just leveling the playing field.
So the torpedo bat switch, you'd be like, you can't. It's like when the guy went up and tried to, like Sammy Sosa tried to hit with a fungo bat. You're like, you can't do that. You can't cork that out.
Corking a fungo, just lasering things at 170 miles an hour at the third base.
Right, the torpedo
bat.
bat.
Using his bat to, like, put it into a bottle of Chardonnay.
I saw a video in 1987 or 89 where, like, Major League was like, we're going to go with aluminum bats. And Jose Canseco was like, I hit an aluminum bat 700 feet. And they're like, Major League Baseball is like, yeah, we're going to let these guys play.
That's what the home run derby should be.
Just aluminum bats.
Put an Easton Stealth into Aaron Judge's hands and let
see what happens.
I mean, you might kill someone in the stands, but he's going to hit a 900-foot home run.
I'd worry about the
across the street.
Well, how about the kids out in the outfield that are catching these balls? They're going to get obliterated.
Didn't we went out in the outfield during the home run derby in 2006
in
Houston, and we were out there. By the way, no kid has ever caught a ball. You show me one kid who's ever caught a fly ball out there. Nobody ever has.
You guys were kids in 2006?
No.
Then how the heck did you get down there?
We got out there because we were doing a special to try and get Jose Oquendo into the Hall of Fame.
Utility player for the Cardinals in the late 80s and early 90s. Tried to get him in the Hall of Fame. All we did, what we wound up doing was we made a homemade plaque and got them to hang it on the utility closet. That's it.
The Altitude Daily. Polumbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
Give us what you got there, Tyler. I know Shedeur. I'm now seeing highlights on Twitter, by the way, of Shedeur throwing. So what'd you see out there?
Well, boys, we just wrapped up. I got to tell you, I mean, the amount of scouts that are here, I mean, it felt like well over 100, more than that. George Payton was here, by the way. And Shedeur was slinging, flat out slinging. Look, man, I mean, I don't know what you expect out of these pro days. Of course they're going to look good. He's got his guys. They got their script. They know what they're doing. You know, I counted 5 balls that did hit the ground. Two of those were two of those were legitimate drops. One of them he overthrew on a 75-yard throw by maybe 2 yards. And then I think there were 2 passes that he wants back. There were 2 passes down there in the red zone that he overthrew, threw it out of bounds, didn't give the receiver a chance to catch it. But, I mean, he was slinging, absolutely slinging the rock out there. It really could not have got anything.
Did Travis Hunter show up like you heard he might? Yes,
Travis Hunter did show up. The small thing here, okay? I'm not trying to follow DMAC and be like, wow, Travis Hunter, I think he made a small little statement here, okay? And it's a tiny little thing. But the only dude not wearing gloves, okay? In today's day and age, Travis Hunter goes out there not wearing gloves for the pro day, you know? He was as lackadaisical. I mean, not lackadaisical, that's the wrong term. But he was as nerve-free as you could possibly get. He's dancing the whole time. He's having fun. He's laughing. He's dapping people up. He's running over to Deion Sanders after he catches the ball. He's throwing balls to Shiloh. He was just out there having fun. He was having the time of his life. And I really do think, I mean, these gloves, they're literally sticking, you know? And he's the only dude that goes out there. And in a game, he does wear gloves for the record. He goes out there, hey, it's just another day. Let's go catch some passes.
Did Shedeur throw 60 or so passes? That's in general what gets done at pro days. Was it something like that?
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I got to tell you, man, it is fast-paced. It's really fast-paced. I can see how quarterbacks get worn out. He did not get worn out at all.
The Altitude Daily. Kretman and Lindahl.
Jacob Wilson homered, by the way.
Yeah, in the middle of all that.
Ryan Feltner making a 2-1 Athletics lead as we head to the bottom half of the fourth.
Crazy that opening day looks like your typical businessman special right now.
Yeah,
didn't expect that.
Plenty of good seats available. That's weather related, though. I think is
this fan base nearing the all right, man,
I think
what are we doing?
It was north of 50 degrees with some sunshine out there. I think we'd see our usual opening day audience.
What do you think we'd do? I don't think it'd be packed. I do sense some frustration.
Oh,
it's easy to have the frustration this early part of the year.
It exists. They're 1-5, and they've scored 3 runs in their last 3 games. Nobody's having a good year. Chris Bryant's not in the lineup. The bit's over. I'm allowed to say these things.
Come June, when it's the perfect night for baseball, I'm sure many will flock back to the park and catch a couple of games, and you'll still have some nice June and July attendance. Mm-hmm. But
they always
probably
do
Father's Day, Mother's Day, all that.
Oh, top half of baseball attendance. They'll always do that just merely by opening the gates, of course.
Well, and it's supposed. Don't they have a series at home again next week because it is supposed to be back in the 70s? And we'll see. Look, my point is
the Brewers coming to town.
Andy. The Brew Crew. Mm-hmm. Now do it in Uncle Teddy's voice. Ted Leitner. Anyway, you brought this up, and maybe it is worth talking about because this is already a miserable start. You have a couple tradable commodities when it comes to Kyle Freeland and Marquez.
I would agree.
Do you just start thinking about this sucker right out the gate? Because guess what? You're 1-5 anyway.
I hope that they are. I truly hope that they are because this rotation doesn't have anybody, I believe, below the age of 29. Now they're going to put Dolliner in there at the age of 23. Okay, good. That's like, this is exactly what needs to be happening. There needs to be youth on this club right now, and those guys need to be playing and garnering at bats. Zach Veen is not at the big league level as of yet. We know what's going on. It's transparent as hell. It sucks, but it's also baseball reality. Colorado is manipulating his service time.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com @Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.